I would like to move to the Ag Appropriations Bill, and that is my intent, but we will come back to the CJS bill. I realize there are also a couple of amendments separate that still need to be offered. So we will set that aside temporarily, and we will now turn to consideration of the Agriculture, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration related agencies bill. I want to thank Senators Hoeven and Shaheen for working together on this bill and their staff as well. This bill is essential to supporting our farmers, ensuring that our food supply is safe, and promoting public health. I now would recognize Vice Chair Murray if she would like to offer a few comments on the bill.
Well, thank you very much. I want to also thank Chair Hoeven and Ranking Member Shaheen for putting together a very good bill that rejects reckless proposals to slash and eliminate programs that support rural communities and families and instead keeps our families fed and our farms flourishing. This bill fully funds WIC at projected participation levels with no benefits cuts and provides targeted increases for ag research, rural housing, and food safety, and rejects damaging calls to eliminate international food aid programs, voluntary conservation support for farmers and ranchers, and food boxes that feed hundreds of thousands of seniors. It invests in America, from helping farmers grow to helping our economy grow and to helping our kids and our families grow. I will be voting yes.
Thank you, Senator Murray. Senator Hoeven, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and also thanks to the ranking member. Appreciate it. Also, I want to begin by thanking the ranking member on the subcommittee, Senator Shaheen. She and I worked together actually on a number of the subcommittees, and I really appreciate the spirit with which she's always approached these issues. And I think it's so important. I think the very spirit that she uses reflects our need to work together across the board if we want to be able to get these appropriate bills to the floor, get them passed, and actually have regular order. And so, again, I just want to thank you, Ranking Member Shaheen, and your staff, which worked very hard on this bill, along with my crew led by Morgan Ulmer. They may be a little sleep deprived, but they worked really hard, and they did, I think, a very good job and are greatly appreciated. Overall, the funding is exactly the same as last year. This committee unanimously approved last year $21.7 billion, and that is exactly what we are bringing forward this year. Now, that's about 1% above enacted. In the CR, it was a little bit less. But we're right there. Like I say, about 1% difference. And this is the exact same number you all approved unanimously last year in this committee. Biggest increase is WIC. That's up almost 7%, about $500 million, which is a lot, is a big increase in our budget. And so we had to find savings in other areas because of that. And I understand that WIC has a lot of support on both sides of the aisle, but we have to be mindful of how much it has increased each year, and then how that creates stress on other areas of the budget. But we did fully fund WIC and found other areas to reduce to offset that. Also, we fully fund both NIFA and ARS. Ag research is vital. It has strong support on both sides of the aisle. I grew up in western North Dakota, and at that time we could grow wheat and barley and oats, and we were scratching it out, and that was about it. And now in my state, we grow about 40 different major commodities because of the research that's been done, the better seed varieties and the pesticides and all the things that go into being able to grow America's food supply. So for me, it's amazing. And I've seen it up close throughout my whole life, the impact that ag research has on behalf of our farmers and ranchers and our food supply, of course, which benefits every single American. We also fully fund APHIS to make sure that we're managing disease and pests. Two that have been top of mind and very much in the news lately is the avian influenza and the New World screwworm. Obviously, we need to make sure that those things are addressed, and we do. We also protect our food supply by fully funding FSIS, the Food Safety Inspection Service, and FDA. So when it comes to food and drugs, we can't take any chances, and we don't. As I said, because of those things, we had to find other areas where we made some reductions. We tried to do that well and fairly and in a bipartisan way to keep our budget within the 302B, which we were given, which I say is exactly the same number as last year, approved by this committee. Last thing I'll say is this. We have a family-based system, or a system that is made up of family farms and ranches across this country. It's one of the industries in our country that hasn't been taken over by a few big companies. And when we pass good farm policy, we make sure we're going to continue to have a network of family-based farms and ranches, small businesses, rather than just a few controlling everything. And so when we're dealing with these kind of bills, that's how important it is. Every American benefits every single day from the highest quality, lowest cost food supply from that system of farms and ranches across this country. And so when you support this bill, that's exactly what you're supporting. And so with that, again, I'd like to thank Senator Shaheen, and that concludes my comments.
Senator Shaheen.
Well, thank you very much, Chair Collins. And Senator Hoeven, thank you for being such a great partner. I think Senator Hoeven and I have tried to model our work on the Ag Committee on the good work that Chair Collins and Vice Chair Murray do at the total committee level to find compromise and work together. And I think we've done that in this bill. This continues, as Senator Hoeven said, the bipartisan promise to fully fund the WIC program, supporting the projected increased participation in WIC, and maintaining the full fruit and vegetable benefit, which I think is really important. It also provides critical support for rural communities who are experiencing an affordable housing crisis. This is a huge issue in New Hampshire, as it is, I know, in so many other parts of the country. The bill fully funds rental assistance so that participating families can remain housed, and it provides funding, financing funding that's available for very low-income home buyers, many of whom are first-time homeowners. It also preserves voluntary conservation tools that are used by farmers in New Hampshire. Farming in New England is obviously very different than farming in North Dakota, but it's all critical, as Senator Hoeven said, to maintaining the food supply that's so important in this country. The bill continues our commitment to international food aid programs and programs that help farmers reach new markets and feed the hungry across the globe. It also provides vital funding for the Food and Drug Administration to stay ahead of the curve on approving medical products and regulating our food supply while protecting the public health of the American people. Now, as a number of people have said, if each of us were going to write an appropriations bill, I'm sure we would all do it differently than the bill that's before us, but this is a compromise. It's one that I think has tried to address the biggest concerns on both sides of the aisle and what we've heard from our colleagues, and I think it is a bill that is important. And also, I hope one of the things that this bill does is it considers potential rescissions and discretionary spending on a bipartisan basis. I hope that as people are considering a rescission package in the next few weeks, that they will keep in mind that under our normal appropriations process, we do rescissions. So there's no need to do a separate rescission package because we incorporate that into what we do every time we do appropriations. So to close, I'd like to again thank Chair Hoeven. He and I have worked together since we were governors together, so it's been, we won't say how long, John? You weren't supposed to tell.
2000. Yeah, it's kind of impressive. You were very, very young then, too.
Yes, both of us.
But that's
No gray hair.
That is 25 years.
Yes, that's right. And as he said, have also worked together on a number of other appropriation subcommittees. So I also want to thank his staff, Morgan Ulmer, Lindsay Morris, and Macy Kelly, as well as mine, Hart Clements, Rachel Erlbacher, and Claire Wingrad. As Chairman Hoven said, they did yeoman's work in very little time with very little sleep, and we really appreciate that strong bipartisan effort. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. I will now turn to Chair Hoven for a manager's package.
Madam Chair, I'd like to offer a manager's package containing amendments for the Ag bill. This package has been negotiated and agreed to by both sides, and I ask that it be adopted by unanimous consent.
Is there any objection? If not, the manager's package is agreed to.
Thank you.
Are there other members who wish to offer an amendment to this bill or speak on this bill? Senator Merkley.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And I appreciate the work on the manager's amendment. And it's been a privilege to work with Senator McConnell on hemp. We first brought to this committee the idea that research should be done on hemp. And then later we put in an amendment that proceeded to allow seeds to be transferred across states. And now there is a hemp industry. So Senator McConnell has proposed and is in the bill a new definition of hemp. And I appreciate that the implementation has been agreed to be delayed by a year. Thank you. My concern about the amendment or the definition as written is that it addresses one very important issue but causes another problem. The important issue it addresses is not allowing hemp to be grown to produce hallucinogenic products. That, unfortunately, due to the magic of laboratories, has occurred. But then there are other products that come from hemp, such as CBD, that has, in fact, been a significant factor as a healthcare supplement in many, many products across America that does not have a hallucinogenic effect. So I would like to continue to work with Senator McConnell to see if we can develop in this course of this year a definition that addresses the hallucinogenic factors but does not eliminate the CBD product that is non-hallucinogenic that is valued by many Americans across the land. Thank you.
Senator McConnell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To give you an overview, in the 2018 Farm Bill, federally legalized hemp as an agricultural product. This language had an unintended consequence that has allowed for intoxicating hemp-derived synthetic products to be made and sold across our country. These flooded the market in the absence of regulatory structure and often used deceptive and predatory marketing towards children with packaging and logos similar to existing food products such as Oreos, candy gummies, and cereals. The way I see it, the language I helped secure takes us back to the original intent of the 2018 Farm Bill and closes this loophole. My 2018 Hemp Bill sought to create an agricultural hemp industry, not open the door to the sale of unregulated, intoxicating, lab-made, hemp-derived substances with no safety framework. Pleased to work with Senator Merkley to include a one-year implementation timeline to help give our hemp farmers ample time to prepare for their future. The language, including in today's bill, keeps these products out of the hands of children, secures the future for regulated hemp businesses, and keeps our promise to American farmers by clarifying the intention of the 2018 Farm Bill. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Are there other members who